So in this part of the video, I'm gonna be talking about the illusion of discipline and why motivation isn't enough. So people think that discipline is about being strong. They think if they just want it so bad, they will do the right thing and when the pressure hits. But you and I both know that's not how it plays out. You've had days where you were motivated, you watched a great video, you read a powerful quote, you journaled, you prayed. You promised yourself today will be different, but when the market opened, the same thing happened. Impulse kicked in, distraction pulled you. You knew better, but you didn't do better. That's because motivation is temporary, but discipline, that's something else. Real discipline isn't loud. It's not a hype, it's not motivational quotes on your wall, it's not an emotion you feel, but it's a system you live by. Discipline isn't created in the moment, it's trained before the moment. And most traders haven't trained for it. They have trained to chase, to panic, and to react. Because that's what they practice every single day. They treat trading like a game of emotion, not a practice of execution. So what is discipline really? Discipline is your ability to hold your plan when everything else in you wants to abandon it. It's sticking to the structure even when the setup looks so close. It's walking away not because you're scared, but because you respect your rules. But here is the part no one tells you. Discipline isn't built through willpower. It's built through identity and repetition. You don't rise to your motivation, but you fall to your training. If your body is trained to overtrade when anxious, if your mind is wired to chase green when you are bored, if your nervous system is addicted to doing something, then no matter how many quotes you read or how good your strategy is, you'll break your rules every time pressure hits. Because in that moment, you won't do what's logical. You'll do what's familiar. And that's the trap. We keep trying to trade like robots, but we forget that we are human. We are emotional, patterned. We are conditioned. And most traders don't lack knowledge, they lack capacity. Capacity to stay calm when the trade is running, and capacity also to walk away when they have hit their daily limit. The capacity to sit in silence without forcing a setup. And that's the kind of capacity doesn't come from motivation, it comes from mental conditioning, from creating structure so strong that your body knows what to do, even when your emotions scream otherwise. So what's the solution? First, you stop relying on motivation. You stop waiting to feel ready. And you start building rituals that train your nervous system for discipline. Simple things. Daily journaling. Not for the win, but for the behavior. Pre-trade breathing. Not to be perfect, but to be present. Then there's post-trade review. Not to punish, but to learn. You build discipline like an athlete who trains their muscles, consistently, intentionally, and over time. Let me be clear, motivation is nice, but it's not the thing that's going to keep you to keep your hands off the mouse when temptation hits. Only system and self-respect will do that. And that's what you're building now. Not a perfect trading record, but a disciplined identity that knows how to stay calm, follow through, and walk away. Because once you stop chasing motivation and start becoming the kind of trader who execute no matter what, that's when everything changes. And in this second part of the video, I'm going to be talking about the trading under stress and how your brain betrays you in real time. So when you are trading under pressure, it's not just your strategy being tested, it's your nervous system. You sit down, the market opens, everything looks okay. Then it changes fast. You are in a trade, maybe slightly early or maybe slightly off the plan, and suddenly your heart starts racing. You don't notice it at first, but your breath gets shallow. Your palms start sweating, and before you know it, you have either hesitated too long or clicked too soon. What just happened? Here is what most traders never understand. When you are under stress, you're not thinking, you're reacting, and there's a huge difference. The part of your brain that controls logic, structure, and planning, the prefrontal cortex, literally shuts down when you are emotionally overloaded. It's how your brain evolved to protect you. When your brain senses a threat, it reroutes control to amygdala. That's the emotional center. And that's the part of the brain that is responsible for survival, fight, flight, freeze. Not thoughtful risk management, not calm execution. So when you're stressed, you're not trading from the chart anymore. You're trading your fear. You're chasing relief. You're trying to stop the discomfort. And that's why your decisions under pressure often go completely against your plan. You are not weak. You are not undisciplined. You are just running an survival script your body has practiced thousands of times. You might think I need to be more focused because, everything is happening so fast, but focus isn't the issue here. Regulation is, and most traders spend all their energy mastering setups and indicators, but they have never trained their nervous system to stay calm when money is on the line. And that's why they break rules in real time. It's not about knowing better, it's about being grounded enough to do better when it matters. Let's break this down. When you're in a trade and it's going against you, the fear of losing activate, okay? Or gets activated. You start thinking in extremes. I'm going to lose this whole week again, and I knew I shouldn't have taken this trade. If I close now, maybe I can enter again or later. And every one of those thoughts is driven by stress, not a strategy. Your time horizon collapses. You stop thinking long term. You are no longer a trader executing a plan, but you have just become someone just trying to stop the emotional pain. This is also why revenge trading happens. After a loss, your brain is flooded with cortisol, a stress hormone that makes you impulsive. You are not trying to recover logically, but you are trying to feel better. Winning feels like a relief also, so you take another trade too soon, too big, too sloppy. And if that one loses too, the spiral begins. You try to calm down, you promise yourself to reset, but your body doesn't forget what it just happened or just felt. And that stress loop stays alive in your system. Even if you are not in a trade anymore, the pressure still lingers in your muscles, your breathing, your thoughts. That's why your next entry might be off, rushed, or completely reckless. Not because you are blind to plan but because your body is trying to escape what it hasn't processed. Now, let's flip the script. Think about the time you were calm, clear, regulated while trading. You probably made fewer decisions, but they were better. You didn't force anything. You weren't desperate. You were patient, strategic, detached. Okay? And that's not just like a mindset, but that's a nervous system state. And it's something you can actually train. Discipline is stressful. Trading or discipline in a stressful moment isn't about fighting your emotions. It's about building internal stability before the chaos starts. That means creating routine that calms your body. Breathe work before you sit down. A clear stop time for the session. Structured journaling that rewires your emotion response to losing. Even just learning to pause. Literally pausing when you feel like yourself is getting pulled to the undisciplined behavior. Okay? One deep breath, one moment to check back in, that alone can interrupt the cycle. Here's the truth. Your brain isn't broken. Your discipline isn't broken. You just trading without understanding the body that's doing the clicking. You've got to build your system for calm the same way you built your strategy for entries, because your biggest losses, they didn't come from the setup. They came from the state you were in when you executed it. So if you want to win under pressure, you have to stop making trading decisions from panic, fear, or frustration. You have to become a kind of a trader who can breathe, pause, and execute, no matter how or what the market throws at you. Okay? That kind of stability doesn't come from a talent. It comes from the training. The part 3 of this video is very interesting. That is emotional anchors and the hidden triggers that makes you break rules. Every trader has that one moment where things start to unravel and they don't even know why. 1 minute you are calm following your plan, and the next minute you are in a trade you didn't even plan, risking more than you should, hoping it turns around, and when it's all over, you look back and you ask yourself, why did I do it? And the answer isn't just like bad decision making, it's deeper, it's emotional, and it's anchored. An emotional anchor is a memory or belief or trigger that pulls you into the old behavior pattern without your permission. It's the thing behind the thing, the real reason you revenge trade, the real reason you exit too early, the real reason you can't even seem to follow your stop loss rule, and most of the time, that anchor has nothing to do with the market. It might go back to your childhood. Maybe you grew up hearing money doesn't grow on trees, or you have to work hard for every cent. And maybe you watch your parents struggle. Maybe you felt guilty for having more than someone else. Or maybe no one just taught you how to sit with discomfort. They just told you to fix it fast. All of that gets stored, not just in your mind, but in your body. And when you trade, it doesn't just resurface, it drives you. Let's say you take a loss. Technically, it's just a trade, a small hit, but emotionally, it wakes up the old feeling of failure, of being not good enough. Maybe it reminds you of being criticized, being overlooked, being wrong. Now, that loss isn't just negative 50, it's rejection. It is shamed, or like it is shame, it's fear, and suddenly you are not trading anymore. You are reacting to something older than this moment. And that's how emotional anchor work. They attach their present trading behavior to their past emotional experience, and because their pain feels familiar, your body responds automatically. You chase the loss, you double the risk, or you bail out too soon, not because the chart says so, but because your nervous system did. The dangerous thing is you often don't even notice it's happening. These anchors operate below the surface. They are subtle. You think you are being logical, but you are not. You're trying to escape the failure or reclaim one. That's why some traders keep blowing accounts right after big win. The anchor isn't fear, it's guilt. Deep down, they don't feel safe having more. They are anchored to struggle, to scarcity, to proving themselves, and holding on to profits threatens that identity. You have to start asking, what emotion is really driving my decision? Is it a fear of being wrong? Is it a fear of missing out? The fear of not being good enough? Or maybe it's the desire to prove something to yourself, to someone else, or to your past. Okay? Once you start identifying these emotional patterns, everything begins to shift. Okay? Because now, you're not just fixing the surface level behavior, you are healing the root. One of the most powerful tools here is journaling. Not just what you did in the market, but what you felt before and after the trade. Start noticing what triggers you. Was it a losing streak? Was it a boredom? Was it seeing someone else win on social media? And get curious, because awareness is your first line of defense here. Then start building space between trigger and response. If you feel an urge to act suddenly, pause. Ask yourself, what am I trying to feel right now? What am I trying to avoid? The moment you can name it, you take its power away, because now you're choosing, not reacting. And also give yourself grace. Emotional anchors aren't weaknesses. They're just unhealed pattern, often built in survival. But you are not surviving anymore. You are building or growing or becoming a high performance operator. And that means you don't just trade the charts, you trade with awareness. Your edge isn't just in your entries. It's in your ability to stay grounded when the past shows up in the present. Because once you stop being pulled by emotional anchors, you finally start trading like a version of you have always wanted to become. The last part, which is the most important, is rewiring discipline. How to train consistency into your nervous system. So most traders try to fix discipline with more effort. They grit their teeth and they say, this time I'll be better. They write down their rules again. They even add alarms, reminders, and sticky notes all over the place. But here is the truth. You don't fix inconsistency with effort. You fix it with conditioning. Because discipline isn't something you activate it in a heat of the moment. It's something you build before the moment even arrives. It's not about being strong when it gets hard. It's about being trained so well that even when it gets hard, you default to structure. Think about it this way, okay? A firefighter doesn't wait until the fire to, figure out how to respond. A soldier doesn't think about how to load a weapon. When bullets are flying, they train, they drill, they rehearse over and over until their reactions become automatic. And that's no motivation, that's conditioning. Let me ask you, are you conditioned to be calm when the market moves? Are you conditioned to walk away when your rules are violated? Are you conditioned to pause when emotions flares up? Or are you only hoping you will be disciplined when it counts? If discipline is a muscle, most traders are trying to deadlift with 0 reps, and because they have never trained that muscle. They have trained over trading, they have trained self-doubt, they have trained emotional execution, and now they are shocked when that's what shows up during live trading. Here's where it shifts. You start building discipline like a daily practice. Small, repeatable behaviors that you wire your nervous system to stay calm, structured, and focus, or get focused under pressure. It starts before the charts. How do you show up every morning? Are you grounded or rushing straight into the market from bed, phone in hand? Try this. 2 minutes of breath work. 5 minutes of mental rehearsal. Visualize yourself following your plan, entering with clarity and walking away on time. Say it loud. Today I am a structured trader. I execute with discipline. It might sound small, but what you are doing is training your body to feel safe in structure. You're rehearsing calm. You're normalizing control. Next, create a pre-trade checklist, not just for the setup, but for you. Am I emotionally clear? Is this a trade part of my plan? Am I trading from desire or data? If the answer is off, don't trade, because that one trade you force to see what happens, that's the one that breaks your confidence, not just your equity curve. Okay? Then there is a post-trade ritual. Most traders skip this, but this is where the real growth lives. Don't just journal the results, journal the process. Did I follow the rules? What emotions showed up? And what did I learn about myself today? And that's how to get 1% better every session. That's how to rewire yourself over time. Okay? This creates like something powerful, the internal certainty. You're no longer hoping you will stay calm. You know you will. You've trained for it and you've proven it. You've built a structure that protects you from yourself. And one more thing, you don't rely on motivation to be consistent, because motivation fades and the market doesn't care if you're inspired. But if you build a system, it carries you even on your worst day. And that's what discipline really is. A system that protects your future from your current emotions. You don't rise to your goals, you fall into your standards. So raise them, okay? Not in pressure, but in preparation. Because the disciplined trader isn't lucky. They are not special. They are not immune to emotions. But they have trained harder than the version of them that keeps breaking down. And now, they win with peace, not panic. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and let's meet in the next video.